Hi, my name is Agha. I'm a Reiki master and a shamanic practitioner, and this is day 4 in a series of video clips helping you to create a daily practice. Day 1 was about setting the intention to turn up for yourself every day for your daily practice, and to set aside a space in your home that would become your sacred space. Day 2 was about creating that sacred space and gathering items that would be infused with love and power and creativity, and that would help you to connect to the divine in you and to that great spirit, that great mystery that is all around us. Day 3, yesterday, was about taking you back to the land, to the elements and to the tree, tracing the tracks of our ancestors, where we went to the land to gain guidance and healing and messages from that great mystery, to connect you to that energy, that source of divine energy of unconditional love. So hopefully yesterday was a day filled with much knowledge and power and beauty. Day 4 today is going to involve 2 practices, a morning practice and an evening practice. The morning practice, which you shall now be able to do in your sacred space because you will have created your sacred space for this very work, is a practice of gratitude. Now, I'm not going to use this time to go through what gratitude is or isn't, because that is something that we come to understand in our life as we journey through life. Gratitude for me is about accepting where we are and finding the blessings in where we are. Often when we find ourselves in a space of disconnection or a place where we feel abandoned, or where we simply feel as if we're not authentically being all we came here to be, it can often be because we are not accepting where we are right now in life. And that means that we are not able to see the blessing in where we are right now. Now I accept and I know that life can often be exceptionally challenging, and finding those blessings can sometimes be the greatest challenge in itself. So I would humbly and gently urge you to take this practice slowly and to start as slowly as you need to find those things which you are most grateful for in your life right now. And you may have to start small. It may be something like, the sun came out today, I had a wonderful cup of tea, I have clothes on my body. It may be more than that. What I will say is that when we start that process of gratitude, of giving thanks, it often starts to find a momentum of its own, and one blessing starts to flow out of another. And what we find, what we often come to realize, is how very blessed we are, how very held we are, how very loved we are, and that actually if we felt we were abandoned or being punished in some way, that was merely our perception. Just as when we feel disconnected, it is because we have disconnected from life, from spirit, from that energy, from the universe, not because any of that has gone anywhere. We are surrounded by it all the time. And hopefully yesterday's practice will have shown you a little bit of that we are surrounded by that energy all the time. It is for us to connect with it. Therefore, giving thanks, having a practice of gratitude, starts to connect us to the abundance of life, to the beauty of life. We start to fall in love with life again, with spirit again, and with ourselves again. We start to place our attention on the beauty and the abundance and the blessings rather than that which is not there. So often we spend our lives mourning the past or yearning for a future, and yet the greatest blessings are in the very moment that we are in. And when we are in resistance, sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is start to give thanks. Sometimes when we are in a situation that we do not wish to be in, sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is to give thanks. Even for that which we do not feel very grateful for, even if those very words start to stick in your mouth as you try and utter them, Again, as I've said before, change happens when we step out of a place of comfort. So if this practice starts to make you feel uncomfortable in any way, I don't want to give thanks, I have nothing to give thanks for, that is a beautiful place to be, because in that you will start to find your power and an authentic connection to spirit and to your truth. So your morning practice is to go to your sacred space, do what you need to do to open that space for you, whether it's to light a candle or something else. It's nice to bring in fire, but I will leave that practice up to you of how you start to open your sacred space for every practice. And you are going to you're going to say out loud all that you are grateful for. Hopefully you are in an environment where you can do that. If you can't, then whisper it. But it helps us to do that because we start to find the difference between what is a thought that is constantly running through our minds and what are we actually saying, the power of our words. It's important that we start to become aware of the power of our words. I am is such a powerful phrase, and so often it is linked to something negative. How beautiful if we can link it to something empowering. I am grateful for. So I leave that to you, but I would urge you as humbly as possible that you make this practice, this list as exhaustive as possible. And I know that this is tricky because I don't know who I'm speaking to, and so everyone's going to be on their own path, their own journey. Some of you may really be suffering. And all I say is at least find one thing that you can give thanks for today. Just one. And watch how that may just start to bring in a drop of love into your life, a drop of surrender. Truly, when we surrender to what we have and we find the blessings in it, we make space for more to come in. Truly, that does happen. I speak from experience. Be gentle with yourself with this practice. If you did nothing else but give thanks for the next 21 days, that would be a beautiful practice. So that is your morning practice, and see how the day unfolds when you are in that space of gratitude. See how you can take that into your everyday life. Can you give thanks for what you start to encounter in your everyday life? Your tube journey, your boss at work. Can you give thanks for that and start to find the blessing within that? And even if you can't find the blessing within that, just say thank you, bless you, thank you. And watch and observe and feel how that may soften something in you and allow you to start to connect the divine in you, because the divine in you knows that everything is a blessing. Your evening practice then is a practice of forgiveness, because the divine in you is able to forgive anything. This practice works by, at the end of the day, and I would say do this just before you go to bed and into the dream world, take an inventory of everything you experienced during the day and every person you had an encounter with and every time you felt that you had been wronged or hurt in some way, and forgive that person. This is not the place to talk about forgiveness. Again, as I said, there's not enough time here. There are a few podcasts on my website if you care to maybe delve into the words a bit deeper. But for me, forgiveness is about being able to see the struggling human beneath the action, the struggling soul on their own life path, on their own journey. Forgiveness is about releasing the events of the past so we may truly step into the future and truly be in the now. Forgiveness is saying, I am not a God, I am equally human, and I equally hurt and upset others in my life also. Forgiveness is stepping into someone else's shoes and seeing life through their eyes, compassionately. Forgiveness is the greatest act of empowerment we can give ourselves. We forgive to set ourselves free. We forgive the person, not necessarily the action. So the practice works like this. You go through the day and any person that you feel may have harmed you or upset you in some way, and you simply say out loud, I forgive you and I release you. You then go through the day and you Take an inventory of every time you may have hurt or harmed someone, intentionally or unintentionally, and this can be quite painful. We sometimes feel that we are above actions like this, sometimes. So take your inventory of the day, and then the forgiveness will work. Out loud you will say, you will ask the higher self of that person, please forgive me for the action that I did today or the words that I said today. And then you will ask Great Spirit, you will ask the divine, you will ask that energy, the universe, the cosmos, whatever label you may give it, whatever words you may use, please forgive me for what I did today. And then finally, you will forgive yourself. I forgive myself for what I did or said today. You may wish to elaborate a bit, so please forgive me for what I did or said today. I was feeling XYZ. Great Spirit, please forgive me for what I said or did today. You know that I was feeling XYZ. I forgive myself for what I did today. I was feeling XYZ. You may wish to elaborate on it, you may not. And those are your two practices. As you go into the dream world, you go in with a clean slate, taking no resentments of the day into your dream world. No bitterness, no anger, no sadness. You release it. And as you wake up the next day, you wake up to a fresh day with gratitude, with thanks for the blessings that are in your life and the blessings that shall come. And we shall look at that later. For now, this is enough for day 4. I wish you so much love and so much joy and so much truth and empowerment in this practice, these practices. May they truly transform your life. And so until the next time, so it is. It is so.